I'm Thomas Pfaff. I'm doing how gas prices have changed in the U.S. Alright, starting with the background and basics. Today we're looking at the changing gas prices in the U.S. over the past 30 years in order to discover if they were significantly increasing in the past or more the present. Another goal is to look at these changes in prices and see if we can find the reasons for variations. In intervals of 2, we will measure the data and see how these prices have changed over time and see if there are any trends or patterns we can discover. I chose this topic because I was particularly interested in seeing how often these gas prices change, and then seeing what may have caused them, and the reasons some were more significant than the others. Through researching this, maybe I could even predict if gas prices are going to rise in the future. The first gas station was opened in September of 1885, and ever since then the prices have been changing all the time, and there have been times where changes have been subtle or extreme, and there's always a reason behind it. To find if these prices are increasing over the years, I will find the rate of change at 2 points and see if it is still growing at such a significant pace. Using rate of change by finding the derivative, this will drive us to the point of finding how rapidly gas was increasing in the past and if it's still increasing at the same rate in the past few years. And I hypothesized the gas prices overall will have a steady increase over time. Here's our research method. Here we have the data found on the U.S. gas prices over the last 30 years in intervals of 2 years, and this is the data we'll be using for the experiment. I found all my information on the internet. That's where I researched it, found it. There were no tools I needed since I could find all this information, but how the other people must have is they would have surveyed gas prices of the country and then found the average price each year. Here's a look at our data, and there's a average line of the kind of linear model that this data takes, and with the regression is not plotted here. Here's our evidence with the regression, so we can get a better look at what all this looks like. Looking at the data, it is clear that there are several conclusions that can be drawn here from the information. There seems to be an obvious trend of the prices slowly increasing over the years. There are also several times where the price spiked in price by a large percentile. However, the prices would lower back every time this happened, and it overall took kind of a more linear model. By calculating to find the derivative of 2 separate points of the data and analyzing the data, it is clear that gas prices can change slowly over time or spike rapidly in price for years. The derivative at these values is the rate at which it is changing. The two derivatives are vastly different from each other, which proves how the prices can be quite unpredictable. Every time the prices did have a large increase, most likely due to inflation or something significant like a stock market crash, they would eventually lower back down and continue a linear increase. And over here on the left, we have where we calculated the derivatives. And what we did is the two points we used were 3 and 14. 3 was 1994 and 14 was 2014. And so what we would do is take the slope of to the points that were to the left and the right. So for 3 we would take the slope of 3 and 2 and then the slope of 3 and 4, which gave us 0.01, and then we would do the same with 3 and 2, and then do the same with 3 and 4, which gave us 0.06, and then we will take the average of that, and that would be the time that was increasing per year. That's the rate of change for a year. And then we did the same for 2014, and we found that that was negative 37 cents a year, and the other one for 1994 was 3 cents a year. So looking at this, we can see it's clearly quite different. And one of these is just coming off where the price had increased a lot due to the stock market crash. And yeah, this experiment allowed me to calculate the rate of change of gas prices in the US over the last 30 years. I calculated derivatives to study and understand what causes gas price inflation and why it varies in increase. I created a table and graph of the data and a regression of the data to better interpret it. In the end, my hypothesis was proven correct, as it was found the gas price has a linear increase overall. And another thing, I believe this linear model is due to inflation because it's mostly a steady thing, and that shows through these data that is very linear. Thank you.